sun breathes like ammonia. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May the grapes of pain ferment, alchemize to love's content. Ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thundercloud, let me live my love out loud. Standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now. God is in all I have found. Oh God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, you astound me with your grace. Spinning like a prayer feast, turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss steals the spirit I've become. Knowing what I'm here for, rowing on to distant shores, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Spinning like the prayer fields, turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss seals the spirit I've become. Knowing what I'm here for, knowing on to distant shores, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Oh God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, tell me you're around. Oh, I am astounded with your grace. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone.
All right, yeah. Please join me in prayer. And we are here to close out the month of June with the theme on holy moments. And today we're going to hear about the power of one idea that can come through these holy moments. From our Fran Winslow, who's here to join us. We know that Spirit will speak through her today, giving everyone in this space and online and everywhere within the sound of her voice a message of hope, love, and strength and courage to know that we can flip any circumstance, no matter what it looks like, into a holy moment. That knowledge that holy moments take place all around us all the time. All we have to do is look for them, and they are there. We know that everything that takes place here will be absolutely perfect, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's come together to make this service a success. I know that it is all good, it is all God, it will be perfect in every way. I give thanks for all of the beautiful light beings that are in this space, and all who will hear this message, and all on planet Earth, knowing that each and every one of them is a unique expression of that divine one life. I release these words in the divine law where they're already done in the universal mind. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. All right. Here we are. We got words of inspiration today. The first are from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Whatever you do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic. From Alan J. Perlis, don't have good ideas if you aren't willing to be responsible for them. And from our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes, the real self is God, and as such is implicitly to be trusted. The spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living and eternal flame of Spirit. We have a bright young soul. Fran Winslow is back in the house. And it's so good to see you, you know. Every time we call on you and ask you to come share your light with us, you've been so happy to do that. And, you know, last time I had an outdated bio, and Fran's been up to a lot of new things lately. So, newly graduated minister, almost there. We're going to get her there. And, you know, any community that gets to hear is lucky to have her. So she's currently a licensed practitioner. She finished her studies with the Spiritual School of Spiritual Leadership at CSL. She retired as a registered nurse. She spent 20 years at the University of Iowa hospitals, specializing in chronic pain management. And I gotta tell you, having gone through some health challenges myself, angels, you know, nurses are angels of mercy, and they put out a lot, they do a lot. And I got good friends who are nurses. I don't know how they do it, actually, but it's absolutely remarkable. Now, as a single mother, Fran transitioned from nursing to a career in medical sales to better support her family, made money hand over fist. Yeah. And after several years in the corporate world, she experienced a profound burnout, prompting a deeper exploration of her life's past. This turning point led her to work with energy work, and she had a coach that was an energy worker that introduced her to Mile High. And you know what happens with this CSL type of stuff. It happened to me too. You come around enough, they start finding stuff for you to do. And, you know, that connection was transformational. And, you know, transformation doesn't stop at the start of your studies. It continues on, and Fran's going to tell us a lot about that. She's a certified life coach and speaker focusing primarily on women who are experiencing burnout. She's been there, done that, got the T-shirt and the cap and the matching shoes, and knows just what to do about it, huh, Fran? And she currently serves as a case manager at Vivint Health, where she supports individuals with HIV and AIDS, many of whom are experiencing homelessness, just that complete heart of service for others that people may overlook. So it's always a privilege to have you here. Come on up. They're tired of listening to me.
All right. Well, good morning. Oh, you know what? It's so funny because I haven't been, I didn't go anywhere this morning, so I think I'm still like going to church and doing all that kind of stuff. But so this time we are closing up the Holy Moments stuff, and I have to tell you a little story about the book. When Russell said we were doing it, you know, he has an outline for us. It's great. And I ordered the book from eBay. And about a week later, it comes in the mail. And in the book was a long letter from the elderly man and the wife who had the book and believe in moving this book forward out into the world. And not only was it that, but they wanted to continue praying for me. And they also sent a prayer that was on a typewriter, like somebody had sat down and typed out a prayer. And I thought, wow, there must be something to this book or to them, you know, and I just thought that was so interesting. And fast forward, just a couple weeks ago in the mail, there was a letter, like somebody wrote me a letter, and from Sterling, Illinois, and I open it, and it's these people again, and it's a prayer in the mail for me. So they're going to continue to send me prayers, and I just thought that was the loveliest thing, just the loveliest thing. So that's how the miracle of this book started out. Now, what they don't tell you is when you can actually order the book and have like 6 or 8 copies sent to you just for the price of shipping when you go through the website that's listed on the book. So I didn't do that. I didn't know, and I was glad because I got to meet these new people from eBay. So this morning we're going to talk about life purpose, leaving a legacy of holy moments. And as we talk about leaving a legacy, it's really about a large compilation of these holy moments. You see, when we're figuring out that divine purpose within, we're really living in spirit. When we live in spirit, we're living an inspired life. So basically, in spirit equals inspiration. Emerson says this: the purpose of life is not to be happy. It's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and have lived well. In any given moment, we have the opportunity to choose a holy moment or an unholy moment. And when our lives are completely in balance, it is so easy to say, wow, this is a holy moment. But when you're smack dab in the middle of chaos, it is much harder to find that holy moment. And this is where this book changed my life. So it was March 17th. I was at work, and I got a call. And prior to that, I had had a feeling that my oldest sister was getting ready to make her transition. And we had never been close. And I thought, is there anything that I need to talk to her about, to say? And the answer to that was no. So when I saw my other sister calling, I knew what had happened. My sister Anna passed away made her transition into a greater realm on St. Patrick's Day. And it was hard for me to decide whether I wanted to go to the services or not because we hadn't been close. And I thought, I have to go out of respect to her, out of respect to her family. And so as I'm getting ready to meet the Uber driver, I took Holy Moments with me. And I put it in I thought, I have to do this talk on this. I may as well start reading it. And so I read it on the plane. And I thought, how appropriate is this for this time in my life? Now, when I landed and talked to my other sister, we found out that what Anna had was she had been diagnosed with high blood pressure and she didn't want to take her medicine. So she had a massive stroke and was taken off of life support, even though they kind of got her heart started. And so I got to the hotel and settled in and did some things with family. And then I called an Uber to take me to her services. And the Uber driver said, "Oh, I don't know this address. Where am I taking you?" And I said, "You're taking me to a funeral home because I'm attending my sister's services." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. And what happened?" And I said, "Well, she had high blood pressure. We think she had a massive stroke." And the Uber driver pulled over. And she started crying. And I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't have told her that. And she said, "I have been diagnosed with high blood pressure and haven't been taking my medication. I think you and your sister and I might be a little bit stubborn." So she dropped me off and she said, "I'm going to go get my prescription and I'm going to go to church." And yeah, she's a very faith-based woman. And I thought, wow, Anna's life just saved another life. Her passing just saved this. And I thought, what a gift that was. And then there was another moment, again, in the Uber. I'm thinking that these poor Uber drivers, or maybe there's something in the water that makes these Uber drivers be okay with listening to these stories. So again, they picked me up. It was a man this time, and he picked me up and he said, "Oh, are you visiting? Are you on vacation? Are you on business?" And I said, "Well, really not either of those two things." And so we got to the destination. I was going to my sister's house, and he was talking a little bit more, and he said, and I told him what had happened to her, and he said, "When did she pass?" And I said, "On St. Patrick's Day, the 17th." And he said, "Oh, I'm a Muslim man, and we're in the midst of celebrating Ramadan." And this is one that kind of gets to me a little bit. He said, "We believe that when someone passes during Ramadan, all the gates of hell are closed, and it is a direct shot into paradise." And I thought that was the most beautiful thing that anybody could have said to me. And my sister had a really hard life here, and I thought it brought me such comfort to think that she was in the midst of paradise, And there were so many more moments that happened, getting to know my niece and nephew, getting to know my sister's friends, and recognizing that she was a gardener that grew these magnificent tomatoes every year, and she would give them away. And so she was known for her tomatoes. And the whole experience from the start of reading that book to applying them to my life was just actually life-changing. And I think the reason why it was life-changing is because I was open to it. In the midst of I call it complicated grief, when we don't have relationships with people that we want to. I can do a whole talk on complicated grief, but, I had to be open to the moments as they were presented to me, and I had a choice. I could tuck myself safely in the bubble of the holy moments, or I could tuck myself safely in a bubble of not holy moments. And I think that it taught me that I have choice. We all have choice every single day. It's about finding our center and remembering who we are and where we came from. And the master teacher Jesus says, "Be still and know that I am God." That's a holy moment. So what legacy of holy moments do you want to leave behind? What would you like to be known for? Would it be something like a transcendent purpose? That's a purpose that goes beyond all personal gain. And I'll tell you right now, in this world, as Josh Reeves said in our graduation for the ministerial students, we have chosen a time to come into this world where it is the hardest time that we have ever experienced. And so I think it's really important that we all take our holy moments and knit them together so that we can put this beautiful blanket of calm love across the world right now. We need it more than anything. When we come together in community like we did this morning, Carol prayed us in and she talked about community and being together and knowing that divine right action happens when we're in community. We have all got to do that. And so I want to talk to you about 3 people who did just that. They knitted their holy moments together and did something that helped the world. So the first one is Clara Hall. Now, she became a widow with 3 young children during the Great Depression. And so she had to toil and do housework and whatever she could to make ends meet. And if that wasn't extraordinary enough, when she got her kids through college and retired at the age of 64, she began to take in babies who had been born to addicted moms. She took them in one at a time, hoping to give those children nothing but love and support and discipline, and until their moms got their act together, and the whole premise of it was to reunite families. She took them in one at a time. She took in over 1,000 babies, got funding, and created Hall House. And she says this. She says, "I'm not an extraordinary person. I just love children." But her embodiment of grace is a testimony that it's never too late to answer that call. And the next, he's one of my favorite. This is Brandon Doman. And what he did was he set up a picnic table in parks all across the United States. And he set up a table, and people could write letters or write whatever was on their heart. And he started this project called the Strangers Project. And you didn't sign anything, you just wrote your letters. He compiled over 70,000 letters, stories of grief, of triumph, of resilience, of heartbreak, and he would post them in the park where people could come and read them. Now, he wasn't anybody special, didn't have an education, just had a heart the size of gold. And his purpose for all of this was simply to hold space for people without judgment. And he says, sometimes being heard is the most healing thing. He transcended his own invisibility by letting others be seen. And if you're on social media at all right now, you may have heard about Oliver Widger and Phoenix. Oliver is a 29-year-old man who was working in a tire store and hated his life, hated his job, hated everything about it. He had some neck pain. He went to the doctor, and they found out that he had a rare disease that could leave him paralyzed at any moment. So he quit his job, cashed in his 401k, bought a sailboat, having never sailed before, taught himself how to sail, and embarked on his first mission that was from the Oregon coast to Hawaii. And he landed there a few weeks ago. And he, all over social media, he would do posts every day talking about, okay, I lost my rudder today. I'm scared. The water is really choppy. I'm seasick. But through it all, Phoenix just thrived. She just hung out in the hammock and did so well. But what he inspired in me is why are we doing these things that we don't enjoy? Especially for a paycheck. It's a little bit more tougher. So what they say about Oliver is that he inspires us to live a life of purpose and enjoying every moment. Those are stories of all people who have knitted their holy moments together to create change in this world. So how do we find solace in those holy moments? We stay in the present moment and practice. Just as Dennis said, when he said practice, I was like, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. And the important thing about staying there is that we don't get distracted by our egos, because our egos are going to want to take us out of every holy moment. So you're fighting this battle within to stay there. And when you can get calm and centered and present in that moment, you'll find the gifts that are there for you. In the book, Matthew Kelly says this: "It's not too late to chart a new course. It's not too late to set aside all the trivial distractions and bring meaningful focus to your life. Allow the principle of holy moments to guide you in each moment from this day on. And you will soon find yourself sailing like Oliver and Phoenix toward the most beautiful sunset of your life with the wind at your back." So this week, what are 3 commitments that you can make to yourself to remain living in these holy moments? The first, pray and meditate daily. Since I've graduated from school and not taking classes, I've added in 20 extra minutes in my day to meditate. Whew, what a big difference it makes. Sneak it in whenever you can. Maybe add in a grounding ritual, light a candle, do some reading, play some soft music. The next, practice stillness and listening. Remember that divine purpose within doesn't always shout, it whispers. Pay attention, listen, and pay attention. The third is to challenge yourself. Not every moment is going to be a holy moment, as we talked about earlier. But find one time during your day where you're challenged. I don't know about you, but for me, it's the grocery checkout line. And it happened at Trader Joe's recently. And I was like, I was going to get in this line. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get in this line. And every time you do that, you end up waiting twice as long. And so I'm there, and I'm not in a hurry. I have no place to be. But I find myself getting upset because I'm waiting. And so I thought, this is the perfect opportunity. So I just looked around. I saw the cute kids. I saw somebody buying flowers and wondered what they were for, if it was a special occasion. Your mind can take you in beautiful directions if you allow it to go there. So where would that holy moment present itself to you this week? And have that just kind of dialed in so that you can remember to get into that space, that quiet, still space. And remember to trust that you're probably already on your path to leaving a legacy of holy moments. I think that just being here today shows that you're seekers of truth and you're open and willing to see how that is expressed through others and take that home and apply it to your life. For me, I kind of think of it like a kaleidoscope. You know how when you're looking through the kaleidoscope, you see all those beautiful shapes around, and as you focus and you hone in, you create this magnificent piece of art. That's what dialing in these holy moments feels like. We always have the crayons in our hand, people. And it's time we all come together with that beautiful art that's within inside of us all. And I'm not talking about drawing or singing, or I'm talking about that beautiful art of the divine that's within each and every one of us. So in closing today, I would like to leave us with one more quote from our founder, Ernest Holmes. He says, "If every day things are a little better, a little happier, a little more harmonious, a little more health-giving and joyous, if each day we are expressing more life, then we are going in the right direction." Let's take that into prayer, shall we? Just taking a breath into this very holy moment, recognizing the divine spirit that lives and dwells and has its being within each and every one of us. Each and every one of us that has come here to gather today, whether it be in this beautiful sanctuary or at home online watching, recognizes that beautiful presence of the One, that stillness that runs so deep, that stillness that is the divine waters within. And I hold this truth for all of us. I hold this truth for our world, that right now, our peace, our divine holy moments are woven together in a beautiful golden blanket that protects the world, protects our earth, that we give great credence to those words, be still and know. Be still and know that the God is within. I behold this for all of us. I hold this space of truth, of light, and of love. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for our time here on this beautiful planet, for beautiful Grandmother Earth that always sustains us, for these beautiful teachings of Ernest Holmes that allows us to live a life of freedom and expression as we are all magnificent creatures on this beautiful path to recognizing the God within. And so I just simply release this prayer today, always and in all ways on those beautiful wings of love, into that alchemy of love and law, where it comes together, the two marry to make it so. It's already here. The veil has been lifted, the truth is revealed. All is well, because all is God. And together we proclaim this by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, I am. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, I am. I am. What I'm here for, I wonder, what am I in this world to do? What I'm here for is one thing. One thing I know is true. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, I am. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, I am. I am. Looking in the mirror, I'm asking, am I the change I long to see? You know, the world just a picture of what's inside of you and me. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, I am. am, I am. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, oh, I am, I am, I am. The wonder of life and the air on the land and sea is precious gift to me. Yeah. In a world that's torn by war and strife, all I can do is claim love as our reality. I tell you, if you ask me what I'm in this world to do, I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, oh, I am, I am. I live for the Spirit I am. I live for the Spirit I am. Oh, oh, I am, I am, I am. Walking with the Spirit, I am, I am, I am. Talking with the Spirit, I am, I am, I am. Moving with the Spirit, I am, I am, I am. And I'm moving with the Spirit. Yeah. Let's fix it with the Spirit. I am, I am, I am. We're gonna mix it with the Spirit. I am, I am, I am. All around the world, I am, I am, I am. Healing with the Spirit, feeling with the Spirit. Walking, talking, moving, grooving with the Spirit, yeah. We're on our way every day. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am.